My husband cheated on me last night with two of our friends in a threesome. How do I deal with this and move on? My husband and I have been together for 12 years, married 6, and have a toddler. We have a couple of friends that we've known about as long as we've been together. The couple is pretty fluid and sexually free/open, I guess, and we've had a few games, nights that ended in stripping, nudity, and flirting. The last one ended in sexual acts together, but with no penetration, and was consensual. My husband has previously identified as hetero, but has been curious in the last year or so, and now feels he may be bi, but I believe it's only really towards the male friend because they are so comfortable together and the friend was a safe space, I suppose. I have no issue with any of that and support my husband. I found out a few months ago there had been progressive sexting, fantasies and porn sharing/commentary between my husband and the male friend. I was hurt by this, because the nature of the conversations were what I would consider a form of cheating. We got through it though, and I had many conversations with my husband about my boundaries and his being confused with his sexuality. I explicitly said that if he wanted to continue to explore in that way, there just could never be any secrets and I needed to know about it. He agreed, and while he was embarrassed about being caught out and confused in himself, I supported him to be who he is and explore things. We were fine. I also had a conversation with the male friend, who I also consider a close friend of mine, about how hurt I was he engaged in the deception. He apologized and understood, and the four of us moved on and continued to have fun together. Last night I had a party for my birthday, and at the end of the night our couple friend Ubered home and I went to bed. My husband stayed up while they waited for the Uber, then a short time later engaged in Snapchat sexting and video nudes with the both of them, got in an Uber to their house and they had a threesome. I woke up maybe 2 hours after I had gone to bed, noticed he wasn't at home and called him and the couple multiple times with no answer. He called my back after 5 minutes, saying he had gone for a walk because he had felt a bit depressed after everyone left and was on his way home. I was sympathetic and told him repeatedly I loved him. When he wasn't home 20 minutes later, I walked out to the street and saw him being dropped off on the corner in an Uber. I again tried to reassure him I loved him and we went back to bed, but something was eating me. I checked his phone and saw all of the above. I confronted him and he initially lied, but I then told me a very brief version of events. I'm so lost and broken not only about my husband and our marriage/life, but the betrayal of the couple friends, especially after multiple conversations about the boundary of secrets, lies and deceptions, and the loss of that friendship. They all have apologized, but I can't accept it because they all knew and had multiple opportunities to not proceed, but did so anyway without regard for me. How on earth do I start trying to move on from this?
After I got back from Europe and settled in back at home, my mom came into my room, opened my drawer and pulled out the bag and sat down on my bed next to me to have a talk with me. Let me tell you, my face was so hot from embarrassment I could fry an egg. She told me about how you're old enough and I respect your privacy, but don't do it too much, it's bad for your health, and has left me mortified. In my swim gear bag, I also have my actual swim gear in it, and my mom asked me where it was so she could wash it along with the rest of the laundry, and I just stared at her shaking my head after the conversation, and she was like, oh. This also isn't the first time that's happened. She found the one I bought in Europe and told me not to buy anymore because it's unnecessary, and I just tried to move the conversation forward as quickly as possible. Now when I say this isn't the first time, I mean that my parents have probably accidentally heard me and my girlfriend being too loud in the middle of the night, which I feel so bad for them hearing. She had a talk with me about that too and basically repeated the same thing about the sex toys. So now it's something I think about from time to time and remember the embarrassment. Tofu by putting my sex toys in a bad hiding spot. Hi, so I, 19, live at home with my mother, father and brother, 29, not putting my parents' ages because I don't think it's that relevant. I'm taking a gap year and have a girlfriend, 22F, who visits my house pretty often. I've gotten some sex toys from her as well as from Target when we went there on a shopping date, and my dumbass thought it would be a great hiding spot to put them all in a swimwear bag in my drawer. Now I'm aware that my mom likes to snoop, but I never thought she would actually open it to find out about the contents, and this all happened when I was on a tour in Europe with my schoolmates. Me and my friends went to a sex shop there and bought toys back to America, and I added that to my swim gear bag.
Tofu by sleepwalk masturbating in front of my entire family. This happened only just 1 hour ago. So I, 18M, usually wake up a few hours after the rest of my family. They have breakfast at the table without me. While they were having breakfast, I sleepwalked down the hallway into the kitchen, pants down, fully erect, stroking it in front of everyone. I quickly woke up to the sounds of my parents and siblings yelling, asking what the fuck I was doing. I just stared at them confused, the looks on their faces, I can't even describe it. Then I looked down and saw that my dick was out. I quickly pulled my pants up, apologized, and ran back to my room. My brother texted me asking why the fuck I did that. I told him I was sleepwalking and he explained everything I did. To make it worse, he said that I was also making noises. I could hear my dad laughing from my room when he realized I was sleepwalking. I am mortified and still haven't come out of my room. I hope this will be one of those things nobody ever speaks about, but I don't think that I am going to be let off that easy. I have only sleepwalked a few times before in my life and never have I done something like this.
Tofu by opting out of having a shower with my girl who's on her. Marrakesh is a beautiful place, by all accounts. We've both been enjoying the holiday, and she, of course, didn't anticipate her period coming whilst away, so was already upset about that to begin with. She called me to join her while already showering, and I was on the bed on the verge of passing out from cocktails. My response was a succinct, "Nah." She was quieter than normal after showering and visibly sulking. When I eventually asked what the matter was, she seemed to have her argument loaded into the clip. She hit me with the, "You made me feel bad about being a woman. I use tampons, what's the difference between a shower and us swimming together?" My retort was that those weren't the problems at all, and I actually just wanted to give her her space to sort out womanly shit, you know what I mean? That's the truth, too. I do admit I had a flash forward of standing in reddish water and not being